Hi, welcome back to Waxing On Friday, and today we're going back to revisit the blues. We haven't covered the blues in a while. Yeah, I know we did John Mayall and we did Delbert McClinton a little bit ago, but this is another artist that isn't quite as well known. I mean, when you think of the blues, you're going to think of B.B. King, Buddy Guy, Muddy Waters, John Mayall. I mean, there's lots of great blues artists out there. This guy's got a lot of albums. He's got 24 albums out, if you can imagine. He's touring and playing, but he's not a household name. And today we're talking about Detroit's own Catfish Hodge. The album I have is But With the Blues. Now this album came out either 1980, maybe 1981. If you look on the back of the record jacket, it says 1980. Inside on the label says 1981. So I'm not sure. Now, part of the problem here is it's on Adelphi Records. Now, Adelphi is really not a name I recognize. And again, remember back in 1980, this is 40 some years ago, it was really hard to find records in the record stores. If you can imagine these big bins of records, they didn't pick up a lot of these smaller labels. So all you were seeing is the ones that were on the major labels or had a lot of publicity, a lot of push, a lot of fans. So these smaller artists didn't quite get the coverage as some of the larger ones like B.B. King would have. Now, Catfish Hodge, 24 albums out. This guy's had a long career. He started in 1970. I think the last album was around 2014. This one, just to give you some idea who's on it, if you happen to be a fan of the local scene. Again, this was Detroit is where he's from. So we got Catfish Hodge on vocals and guitar. We've got Dixie Ballin on vocals. Jimmy Powers on harmonica. Steve Jacobs on guitar. We've got Mitch Collins keyboard, doing Campbell on bass guitar. We got another Steve Wolf on bass guitar. Tom Teasley on drums, Ron Holloway sax, Stuart Smith on guitar, and John Hurd on organ. Now, this album was recorded in Maryland. The songs, again, not a lot you're going to recognize. We've got So Bad, Long Night, Bad News, Good News, I Don't Know You, Apolitical Blues, Trying to Live, Cold Cold, Louisiana Woman, I Repeat, and Can I Go Home? Okay, not a lot of what I would call hits, but we had the same thing with John Mayall, right? And same thing with Delbert McClinton. His hits were when they were recorded by somebody else. Now, this guy doing a lot of festival work. He was talking more recently of maybe getting in doing house parties, where you'd show up at somebody's house and play, because he did a lot of acoustic blues as well. And that reminds me of another blues man that, again, very few people may be aware of, was Go Scrivener, and I've talked about him quite a while ago. And Go's got maybe 1 or 2 albums out. Some of them are compilations online that you can find. But again, he had that same problem of not having a lot of push behind him and didn't have a major label covering his material or distributing his material. But he was also doing house concerts. Now with both of these artists, a lot of video online. You want to go on YouTube. I think on Go's you can find even some of the house parties where he was videotaping. Catfish Hodge, he's got acoustic, he's got with bands, he's got clips from some of the albums. There's a lot out there that you can check out with him and find out just which groove kind of sits well with you. 24 albums, I mean that's a lot of albums to pick from. I went on the streaming networks. There are a handful of them available there. Again, YouTube's got a lot of clips. You can still get some. He's got a website, catfishhodge.com, and a Facebook page. Facebook page keeps you updated on live performances, where he's playing, what's going on. The actual website has some of that as well. Some of the albums, now when I went through the website, I couldn't find this album. You can kind of see it in the background on the home page for the albums or the music, but he didn't have it down as something that was available to get your hands on. It's, again, just a very different kind of blues. If you're into blues, it's well worth checking out. A lot of acoustic on there, a lot of great stuff that he does. I mean, obviously you can't argue with success. I just want to read you a couple of things that the press say about him, just to kind of make a point of, what kind of impact this fella's had. From Rolling Stone magazine, it says Catfish on stage is like a 12-gauge shotgun of emotion going off. Hodge possesses a voice that can be heard miles away, but can get so low and ethereal you'll swear he's singing through you. The Holler Colorado Blues Society, few can compare with this man's power and effect. He's been called a folk blues hero, a mainstay on American blues music scene for 3 decades. Now that's been written quite a while ago because, I mean, we're in the 2024s, 40 years since Boat with the Blues came out. But certainly somebody well worth checking out, and there's so many people that didn't get the exposure they should have because of the way music was being distributed back in the 80s or before the millennium. And now, that's one thing, I mean, I was on there last week kind of criticizing a bit about streaming networks because they don't pay the artist a lot, but they do make music available that we can discover new artists and explore them. And certainly if you go to any of the concerts or any of the festivals these guys are playing at, grab a hard copy. Make a few bucks for the guys, okay? So today, somebody new for you to check out for the weekend. If you're into blues, it's Catfish Hodge. My album was Bout with the Blues, but yeah, there's quite a few to pick from. Check out streaming, check out his page, check out your usual spot for buying hard copies. I'm going to say probably a lot of them aren't going to be in the yard sales because I don't know how many people kind of grab something like this just from the distribution of the record label. But certainly lots of opportunity to explore a new performer for this weekend. Spring coming, everything's starting anew again for summer. Festivals are starting up. Check them out. Maybe you'll get lucky and get a chance to see them live. So that's it for today. Catfish Hodge. Everybody have a great weekend. Enjoy the nice weather. We'll see you on Monday. Till then, take care. Stay safe. Thanks for stopping by.